Hello and welcome back, my fellow billionaires. Today, let's discuss what I like about silver. Welcome back to the Rural Stacker channel. Thanks for stopping in, neighbor. So I had this idea for a video for a while now, so you're going to take it with a grain of salt. The first thing I like about silver is the price point. It's cheaper than platinum and significantly cheaper than gold. You can find 90% silver back a spot right now, especially locally, and generic Buffalo rounds, get them pretty much at spot, sometimes a little under, and that goes a long way. It's easier to buy a little bit here and there at more frequent intervals when you're looking at buying generic silver. It's not that $1,000 price point to get into fractional gold, like quarter ounces and half ounces and stuff like that. Full ounce of gold, like $4,200 right now. So, with silver, it's a lot cheaper and you can get into it at a lower price point, which is one of the benefits, I think, to silver. I'm not priced out of it like I'm starting to be with full ounces of gold. Not yet, anyways. The recent run that we've had in silver, doubling this year. That's, who knows when it's going to stop. I think it's going to keep going up, and it has a more likely chance to grow when you're comparing it to other metals, but time will show us that. Another thing I like about silver is all the different designs. There's not only different types from USA bars to bison bars, American flags, Vortex bars, Engelhard bars, some of the examples, but also the different takes on the traditional pieces like Buffalo rounds. There's so many different mints out there, and they all have their own style that they apply to the rounds and the bars that they make, and that variety really spices things up for me, and I enjoy that. So not only with the different style that they're applying to the traditional bars, but you also have just the completely different designs. I spent a few hours the other night just looking at what different sites had for bars and rounds, and I'm sure I just barely scratched the surface of all the different options out there. You can pick a random topic, no matter how niche it is, and I'm sure you can find a round or a bar that has something to do with that topic. And this is all before you even get into hand-poured silver. I don't have any of that, but I'm looking to change that in my stack and get some more hand-poured stuff. Get some hand-poured stuff, actually, because I don't have any. But that's a whole new style of stacking to me. And that even adds more topics and designs to look at that I find pretty interesting. And I think there's a sweet spot there that I'm going to have to go down that rabbit hole and find some stuff there and add that to my stack and look around. And I'm sure there's stuff out there that I like. I've already seen things that other people are making that look into it and hey, that was hand poured. So gonna get into that here, I think, in the near future. But I mean, that's the biggest reason why I like silver, is just how much variety there is with it. I like finding bars that the main focus was adding a design that was meant to be artistic. Some of those examples are this bison bar, that was clearly made, to show off artwork and in a style that, takes the traditional bison and, amplifies it a little bit. Or, this USA shaped bar with a flag on it, right? It's not your traditional style of bar being, a square. It's got the outline to it that isn't normal. I like that. I would consider that an artistic bar. Whether it's a photo or an idea brought to life onto a bar, it's one way to be artistic. Another one is that it tells a story or represents a time in history. I'm thinking of like the shipwreck bars and coins, or recently I've seen Robin Hood bars. I think those are pretty cool. Or Germanium Mint does the Greek gods, those style coins. Those are part of history that they're adding to it, and with their take on it. And I think those are really awesome to look at, and you don't see that as much with the other precious metals. I have a few bars here that I got just for the reason of I really liked how they looked. And there's so many different styles and designs of silver that just keeps me coming back, looking for more and different patterns and things like that. So let me know down below, what are some of the reasons that you like silver, and do you have any silver that you bought just because it specifically caught your eye? Like this USA bar or Spicin bar, Vortex bars. They're not just shiny and silver, but they also have a pretty cool design to them. That's all I got for today. Have a good one. Until next time, keep on stacking and have a great day. Please like and subscribe and share this video out to somebody who might find it interesting. I appreciate you.